We're not fooled. There's a simplicity of the blood of Yeshua.
Amen.
And that is the job of the Sholiach. That is the job of all of us, to always get back to number one and number two. Can I get a witness?
Amen.
He says, I fear that you've been turned away from the simplicity of the love of Yeshua. Why are you here today, Vladimir? Because the love of Yeshua reached you. Right?
Amen.
So you decided to check it out some more and you became a disciple. What reached you? Why are you here today? You heard about His love and His forgiveness of your sins. You accepted it and you wanted to check out more. That's how we all wound up in the same room.
Amen.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's where it started.
He loves you. Deal with it. It's not gay love. It's not imperfect love. It's not homosexual. It's love. It's pure, undefiled, unsensual love and acceptance. Deal with it. He loves you. Some of you get all tense when you think of Yeshua loving you.
There's something wrong with you, all this.
Exactly. He loves you. It has nothing to do with sexuality. Amen?
Amen.
Verse 5. For I suppose I am not inferior to the most distinguished shlichim. So he says, look, there are many shlichim, but I'm not inferior to them. They're not inferior to me. Verse 6. Though I may be unskilled in speech, he's not a very good talker, or yet not in knowledge. He knew the priorities. He knew the simplicity of the message. For we have been fully transparent and open among you when we're there in all things. So a sholiach has to be transparent and open.
Yes.
Or he can't change things. He can't rearrange things. He can't influence things unless he is open and transparent and he's a real person. He can't be a religious person protecting his own territory and protecting his own turf. He has to be real with people.
Amen.
To know that they know he's one of them.
Amen.
That he doesn't have an agenda to protect, or a church to protect, or a religion to protect. He's one of them.
Amen.
He eats with them. He prays with them. He worships with them. He goes in and out from among them. He's one of them. Transparent. Not someone that hides. You ever notice how some of these other folks who get into this four office ministry rut, they go and hide from the people, or they go sit in the back room, or they go in independent, and there's an elders table, and they're always sitting at the elders table. You ever notice that? They don't sit with other folks. They don't pray with other folks. They take their 3 or 4 elders and their wives, and they go hide and sit in the corner. That's a religious spirit. That's a religious person.
Okay.
They're not practicing number 1, and they're not practicing number 2.
Amen.
Okay.
How can you love your brother as yourself when you're always running away from your brother? And you're always sitting in the back room waiting for the next service to begin. Amen?
Amen.
Amen.
Have I committed an offense in humbling myself to you, that you may be exalted, because I have proclaimed to you the best Torah without pay? So a sholiach is willing to be humble so that the people might be mature, perfect, and walk orderly. Let me say that again. A life of a sholiach is someone who is willing to be humble so that the people can be matured, perfect, lifted up, and walk in unity and walk orderly. He'd rather be made fun of, he'd rather be ridiculed, he'd rather be exposed or attacked if the result is taking the different factions and bringing unity, perfection, and maturity. It's better that he suffer than the people be divided and be coming one against the other. In other words, he bears the crucifixion or the impalement of Mashiach by removing fights and arguings, yes, and round pieces and square pegs in round holes, drawing the attention of the people to his own transparency and his own shortcomings, that they would focus on his shortcomings carrying the burden of the congregations rather than being sniping and fighting and attacking themselves among themselves and getting into the kal vachomer. When I see brothers getting into the kal and not focusing on the chomer, the sholiach, the life of a sholiach would come in and carry some of those pains and pressures on himself to bring maturity, perfection, and healing into the body of Yeshua. The pastor's not willing to do that.
I got you.
Pastor is, I love you, I'm here to love you. As long as you and your husband are here, we'll accept you, we're glad you're here. We'll try not to offend anybody. We'll try not to set anything in order, because we don't want to lose the membership, we don't want to lose your support. Okay, so we need shlichim in this day and age. We need shalichim.
Amen.
Verse 8, he robbed others to give to them. See? Verse 9, present with you, present without you. Let's give that. Verse 11, why? Because I don't love you? No. Yahuwah knows I love you. Verse 10. In other words, I do the things because I love you.
Amen.
So the life of a shaliach is motivated not by Torah, not by money, not by power. The life of a shaliach is motivated by the greatest commandment. Love. Can I get a witness?
Amen.
Amen.
He loves enough to enter the dangerous world of religion. Religion is, how dare you come into my congregation? How dare you come into my synagogue? How dare you come into my world where I've been building this big ministry of yarmulkes and showing women how to cover their heads? My whole focus, and you're telling me that I'm missing the mark? Who died and left you a governor? A shaliach goes into people's religious comfort zones and gets them back to the simplicity, lest the tempter be allowed to stay there and beguile the pastor, the prophet, the teacher, and the evangelist, even as he beguiled Chava. The job of the shaliach is to go into a situation and bring everybody back to the Garden of Eden. Adam, you love Eve. Eve, you love Edom, and you both love Yahuwah with all your heart. End of story. Have a nice life. And people are like, whoa, are you crazy? Because they won't see the love. They will hear a guy who's telling them to ignore the Torah. See, that's what religious people do. They will take this message right here and hear that what Rabbi Moshe is sharing is telling people to ignore the Torah. So the problem is not with me. The problem is with you.
Amen.
And that is why Rav Shaul was accused of what? Being an antinomian, being anti-Torah. Because he wasn't saying don't do the Torah. He was saying don't do the Torah until your heart is right and you love Yahuwah with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and then love your brother, and that'll take you the rest of your life. So major on the majors. But we don't hear that from Paul. We think, oh, antinomian, anti-Torah. Because some of you are going to twist, unless you review the tape a few times on YouTube. Some of you, all you're going to remember from this message is the part that where you thought I was railing against yarmulkes and tzitzit. That's all you're going to remember.
Sacrifices.
And sacrifices. But that's not what I was doing. I was taking you, lest Satan comes in and deceive you through his craftiness. Bring us all back to basics. Bring us all back. Me, you, bring us all back. Can I get a witness?
Amen.
I said, can I get a witness?
Amen.
I was present with you. I kept myself from being burdensome. Verse 9. He's motivated by love. He doesn't want to be a burden to anybody or any congregation. The life of a shaliach. Verse 12, what I do, I will do. That I may cut off the opportunity for those who desire opportunity, and whatever they boast in. Look at verse 12. That they may not be found equal to us. You see, that's the problem with religious workers. They're always comparing themselves to themselves. How many in your church? 5. How many in yours? 105. How many in yours? Well, we've got 30 elders. Wow. We don't even have 30 people. Comparing themselves to themselves, thinking, well, look, my tzitzit are longer, And I wear them more often.
Oh, wow.
So then I have the ability to hear the voice of Yahuwah more than the rabbi.
Yeah, this is
Much more.